I invited 200 guests to my 10th wedding anniversary just to play a video of my wife sleeping with her gym instructor on the massive projector screen. Yes, I did that. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. My wife, Tolu, is currently rolling on the floor of the event hall in Ikeja, crying and begging. Her mother has fainted. Her pastor is pretending to be on a phone call. But I'm sitting in my G-Wagon, drinking a cold bottle of water, feeling lighter than air. For the past 10 years, I was the Mugu, the fool, the ATM, the foolish husband. I worked on an oil rig. I spent 2 weeks at sea, 2 weeks at home. I sent Tolu millions to start businesses that always failed. I built a house in her father's village. I bought her a Range Rover for her last birthday. What have I not done for Tolu? Why did she do this to me? We have 3 beautiful children, so I thought, or so I thought. 6 months ago, our last born, Davidson, fell sick. He needed blood. I rushed to the hospital, rolling up my sleeves, ready to donate. The doctor, who is my old secondary school classmate, pulled me into his office, my people. He looked uncomfortable, looked me in the eyes and said, "Bro, your blood type is O negative," he said. "Tolu is O positive. The boy is AB positive." I laughed. What does that mean? Biology was not my best subject. He didn't laugh. "It means biologically it is impossible for you to be the father." My world stopped. My blood ran hot. I told him to run a DNA test on all 3 kids. I waited for 2 weeks. Those weeks were like hell. I looked at Tolu sleeping beside me, snoring peacefully, and I wanted to strangle her, but I kept quiet. The result came back. Child 1, Junior, 0 probability of paternity. Child 2, Sandra, 0 probability of paternity. Child 3, Davidson, 0 probability of paternity. I had been training another man's platoon for 10 years. I didn't scream, I didn't fight. I was stronger than this. What have I not seen? I didn't even ask her. I didn't know what came over me, but I was just strong. Strength from nowhere came in. Instead, I told her, "Baby, for our 10th anniversary, I want to give you the wedding of your dreams, a vow renewal." Story by Jerry Smith. She screamed in excitement. She called all her friends. She bought Asoebi for her family. She booked the most expensive makeup artist in Lagos. I paid for everything. I hired the biggest hall. I invited all her people, her church members, her gym instructor, who I found out was the father of the second child, and my colleagues. Today was the D-Day. The hall was packed. The MC announced, "And now, a special video tribute from the husband to his lovely wife." All eyes on the camera. All eyes. Tolu was sitting on the high table, smiling like a queen, waving at the crowd. The lights went dim. The projector screen came alive. Everyone expected a montage of our romantic photos. Instead, the DNA results appeared on the screen. Huge bold letters. Probability of paternity, 0%. The crowd went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Then the next slide played. It was a video I had paid a private investigator to record. It shows Tolu entering a hotel room with her gym instructor. It shows them kissing. The chaos that followed was beautiful. Tolu screamed, tried to run to the projector, but she tripped on her expensive gown. Her father stood up and held his chest. I simply walked up to the microphone. "The house has been sold," I said calmly. "The cars have been retrieved. The divorce papers are on the table. Tolu, you can go home with your gym instructor. He is the father of your children." I dropped the mic and walked out. As I drive to the airport to catch my flight to the Maldives for a solo vacation, my phone is blowing up. Some people are saying I was too cruel. They say I should have covered her shame for the sake of the children. They say I'm heartless to disgrace a woman publicly like that. But I feel peace. Did I go far? Or did she deserve the humiliation? Please no derogatory comments. Kindly like and subscribe to my channel at African-Tale for interesting stories like this. I am the best in this space. Revenge is best served cold. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Mine was served frozen. Right now in an event hall in Ikeja, my wife of 10 years, Tolu, is rolling on the marble floor, crying so hard she can't breathe. Her makeup has melted, her gele is crooked, her mother has fainted, her pastor is standing in a corner pretending to be on a very important call. He doesn't want anyone to overhear. And me, I am sitting in my G-Wagon, engine running, sipping cold water, feeling high, and I have felt in a decade. For 10 years, I played the role perfectly: the loving husband, the provider, the ATM, the fool. I work in an oil rig, 2 weeks at sea, 2 weeks at home. While I battle storms and still in the middle of the ocean, I sent Tolu millions, set up businesses that always failed for her, investments that never returned profit. I built a house in her father's village, bought her a Range Rover for her birthday, paid school fees without blinking, until when my last born, who I thought fell seriously ill, the doctor said he needed blood urgently. I didn't hesitate. I rolled up my sleeves. A father doesn't think twice. The doctor looked at my chart, then at the child's file, then at me. He said, "Bro," quietly, pulling me into his office. 6 months ago, our last born, Davison, fell seriously ill. The doctor said he needed blood urgently. I didn't hesitate. I rolled up my sleeves. A father doesn't think twice. The doctor looked at my chart, then at the child's file, then at me. He was my old secondary school mate. "Bro," he said quietly, pulling me into his office. "Your blood type is O negative. Tolu's is O positive. The boy is AB positive." I laughed. "What does that mean?" "Biologically, they are not yours." "What?" He didn't smile. "It means," he said slowly again, "biologically, you cannot be the father." Something inside me died quietly. I asked him to run a DNA test. Not on one child, on all three. The next 2 weeks were hell. I slept beside Tolu every night. Listening to her breathe, watching her sleep peacefully while my chest burned. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse her. I didn't ask her any question. I waited. The results came in. Junior, 0 probability of paternity. Sandra, 0 probability of paternity. Davison, 0 probability of paternity. Not one child was mine. All three were not mine. The next 2 weeks were hell. I slept beside Tolu every night, listening to her breathe. I didn't ask questions. I waited. The results came in. Junior, 0 probability of paternity. Sandra, 0 probability of paternity. Davison, 0 probability of paternity. 10 years. 10 years. 3 children, 0 of them mine. I had been raising another man's platoon. I didn't break down. I didn't confront her. I didn't cry. Instead, I smiled. "Baby," I told her one evening, gently, "for our 10th wedding anniversary, I want to give you the wedding of your dreams, a proper vow renewal." She screamed with joy. She called her friends, ordered Asoebi for her family, booked the most expensive makeup artist in Lagos. She became a queen overnight. I paid for everything: the biggest hall, the best MC, a massive projector screen. I invited her entire village, her church members, her colleagues, and yes, her gym instructor. The man I later discovered was the father of our second child. Today was the day. The hall was full, laughter everywhere, cameras flashing. The MC announced, and now a special video tribute from the husband to his lovely wife. Tolu sat at the high table, glowing, waving like royalty. The lights went out. The projector came down. The first slide appeared. DNA test results probability of paternity 0. Silence everywhere. Then the next slide and the next. All three children, all 0. You could hear people breathing. Then the video played. Tolu walking into a hotel with her gym instructor, laughing, kissing, disappearing into a room. The hall exploded. Tolu screamed and tried to run to the screen. She tripped over her expensive outfit and fell. Her father clutched his chest. Cheers cracked. People shouted. I walked calmly to the microphone. The house has been sold, I said. The cars have been retrieved. The divorce papers are on the table. I looked straight at her. You can go home with the man who fathered your children. I dropped the mic and walked out. Now I am on my way to the airport, to Maldives alone. My phone won't stop ringing. Some say I was too cruel. Some say I should have protected her dignity for the children's sake. Some say I went too far. But for the first time in 10 years, I feel peace. So tell me, did I go too far, or did I truly did what was right? No insults, no abuse, just consequences. By the time my flight was boarding, the noise had turned into a whisper. The calls slowed. The messages changed, not anger anymore or confusion. Her family stopped calling first, then her friends, then her pastor. Only Tolu kept calling. I didn't pick, not because I hated her, but because I finally understood something painful. Some conversations come 10 years too late. In Maldives, the silence was loud. White sand, blue water. No crying, no pretending. Just me and the truth I had avoided for a decade. On the third night, I finally listened to one of her voice notes. Her voice was broken, not dramatic, just empty. Her voice was broken, not dramatic, just empty. I never planned for it to become like this, she said. It started small. I was lonely. You were always away. One mistake became many. I was afraid to tell you. Then the children came, and I hoped it would never come out. She cried, she apologized, she begged. And for the first time, I cried too, not because I wanted her back, but because mourning is not always about death. Sometimes you mourn a life you thought was real. Back in Lagos, the dust settled. The court process was quiet and clean. No shouting, no dragging, just paperwork and signatures. I kept my word. I didn't fight her for custody out of spite. The children are innocent. They didn't ask to be born into lies. I set up a trust fund for their education, school fees, health care, future needs. Not because I was obligated, but because I chose to end the cycle with dignity. The gym instructor disappeared. Responsibility suddenly became too heavy. He stopped answering calls, stopped showing up. Reality has a way of doing that. Tolu moved back to her parents' house, not in disgrace, but in silence. A different kind of punishment. No more Range Rover. No more luxury brunches. No more applauses. Just mirrors. Just mirrors. People still argue about what I did. Some say exposure was too much. Some others stay silent. They said I would have killed her. Here is what I know now. Truth is not cruel. Deception is. Deception is very cruel. Public humiliation didn't destroy the marriage. The marriage was already dead. I simply refused to keep carrying the corpse. Today, I am rebuilding slowly. Honestly, I no longer want revenge. I want peace. And peace, I have learned, doesn't come from shouting. It comes from finally choosing yourself. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to get more interesting stories. Watch my stories, Anini the Thief. Have you watched it?